Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of What's Cooking. Happy Thanksgiving. We are doing something today that I absolutely love. This is actually how I kind of really got into Traeger cooking, is cooking my first bird, a turkey, on a Traeger. And today we are doing two of them. One on the Traeger and one on the fryer, which my friend here, Chad, is doing. And you may remember Chad from the tri-tip video. He's back to show you how to fry a turkey. So Chad, you want to kick it off with how we are brining these birds?
Simple brine today. We have an excellent homemade brine that we're going to throw together. If you're not comfortable brining a bird, you can get the Traeger turkey pellets, comes with the brine kit. Meat Church also has a really awesome turkey brine. So either of these would work well. But today we're going to do it homemade. We're going to do it the exact same way. So in this bucket here, we have 1.5 gallons of cold water. We have 4 cups of fresh apple juice. We have 1.5 cups of your grandpa's best bourbon, maybe not his best, but something that'll work. 1.5 cups of salt, 4 bay leaves, 2 cups of packed brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of whole peppercorns. That way we're gonna mix this all up, we're gonna stir it really well, and we're gonna let these birds brine overnight.
So with brining turkeys, you can, the sky's the limit. You can literally do anything you want. But like Chad said, we are going super simple here, super basic ingredients, but this comes and it delivers a really good bird. So why 2? Well, I personally like I said, smoking my turkeys, and Chad, on the other hand, really likes frying his turkey. So, we're gonna see if my method versus Chad methods, which one is the true champion and which one tastes the best. If you ask me right now, obviously I'm gonna go with the smoked one, but Chad, on the other hand, thinks differently.
Yeah, I think the best way to make a turkey is on a fryer. It just crisps up the skin, it locks in all that juice and moisture, and it really tastes awesome. So if you think a turkey can only be that dry, crumbly turkey you've had probably growing up, that's not the way anymore. Whether you're smoking it, whether you're frying it, you're gonna get a really juicy, delicious bird, especially with an overnight brine like we're doing today.
I mean, fried turkey sounds good, but let's be honest. With the smoked bird, we're gonna really enhance it with some smoke flavor, and at the end, we're gonna add some butter and brown sugar to the top to really crisp up that skin and lock in that flavor, and you cannot go wrong with a smoked turkey.
I strongly disagree.
Well, let's see who's the champion. Let's get to making this brine.
Battle of the birds. So there's 2 ways to do a brining. You can do a hot brine or a cold brine. We decided to do a cold brine, but if you're doing a hot brine, make sure that you cool off your brine before you put the bird in. But if you're doing a cold brine, make sure you get it really well mixed up really well. The biggest thing you can do here is mix it up. The next biggest thing, use that real apple juice. Look at that stuff. That's the good stuff. That's the stuff you want. That $5 bottle of apple juice will pay for itself in the brine. What I meant to say with the hot water brine, if you're heating it up, you need to cool it off with ice before you put that bird in. You have to get it below 40 degrees. Otherwise, you're going to start to cook that bird and bad bacteria will grow. So cool it off with the hot brine. Or if you're using a cold brine like us, mix it up really well to get that sugar and salt dissolved.
Look at that brine, Chad. I would take a bath in that stuff.
It's livable for sure.
All right, it's the next morning and our birds have been brining. Your grandpa might just be looking for his bourbon, but you can tell him, don't worry, Grandpa, this turkey's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and start spatchcocking mine, and Chad's gonna tell you about what he's got going on for his.
So my bird's been brining out in the same brine as Cam's overnight. I've got the fryer going outside, just warming up the oil. I'm gonna get it to about 250 degrees, and then I'm gonna get my bird out ready. I'm not gonna spatchcock it. I'm just gonna pat it really dry to make sure there's no moisture on it. If it was frozen, if you didn't get a fresh bird, make sure there's no ice particles in it, and just let it sit out for about 30 minutes before I drop it in.
Let's get to cooking. All right, like I said, this is spatchcocking. This is the first time I've done this. It is seriously super simple. We're just cutting out that spine, flipping it over, cracking that breastbone. Don't worry, it wasn't Grandma's hip. Everyone's gonna be okay. And again, this is a super simple method. First time I've done it, anyone can do it. As far as the rub, I'm just throwing a little Traeger pork and poultry on. It's gonna add a little bit of sweetness and some really nice color when that bird's coming off the smoker.
Over here, I'm drying my bird out. It's the most important thing you do when you fry a bird. You have to make sure you get all the moisture out of that cavity, especially after the brine, because if you don't, it's gonna be nasty when you put it in the oil.
As far as pellets, we are using the Traeger turkey pellets, and it is not a gimmick. Seriously, these things smell amazing, and they will enhance some rosemary flavor into that bird. You can smell the rosemary from so far away.
It's kind of a cheat code. It's a little bit of a cheat code.
They're unreal. As far as the cook, 275, 3 hours, let this Traeger eat.
I've got my oil going here at 250. When I drop the bird in, I'm gonna bring it up to 350. It's about a 45-minute cook on the fry.
Woo! Ooh, look at that baby go on the grill. She's looking nice. As far as what we're doing here, we're about 2.5 hours in, and we melted a stick of butter and a tablespoon of brown sugar, mixed it up, and just glazed it on there just to get the skin. We're gonna pull this at 160 and let it carry over to 165, and whoo, that's a good looking bird.
151 on the fried bird. There's a ton of carryover cooking in the oil, and as soon as you get to 151, pull it out because it's gonna carry over to the 165 you want to, and then get ready to carve.
That fried bird really did a really good job of holding in the moisture. I was really impressed with it. And as far as the spatchcock bird, I think what you got going here is it just is a pretty looking bird.
Yeah, look at that thing. That thing's ready for the table.
I'm impressed with this. I'm happy with it. I would serve this to anyone in my family. But what Chad and I are gonna do is we got some coworkers ready to taste test and see who the real winner is. So Chad, let's see who did it.
Let's go.
Sweet. A little salty. It's good. Juicy. Good. Sweet.
Very tender. A little smoky.
Smoky. This is awesome. This one's sweet.
This one's nice and juicy. This one's better.
Delicious. More delicious.
Well, Chad, I don't want to say that my turkey won, but you heard from the people. I don't know.
They kept saying sweet, and they kept calling mine smoky, so I don't know what the consensus
Yeah, I
was,
don't know.
but I'm guessing it was probably that rub.
It was probably that rub. So these are two very different ways to cook turkeys. Neither one is right. Neither one is wrong. They're both great ways to get a Thanksgiving turkey done. When it comes to smoking, I think presentation-wise, smoking is the way to go. That bird just looks pretty on the trigger. It looks pretty coming off the trigger, and you are going to wow people when you set that thing on your dinner table. And I'll let Chad talk a little bit more the presentation and how he fried his turkey.
Yeah, when you fry a turkey, you're always going to have, you're going to sabotage a little of that presentation. That turkey's going to tighten up on those bones. It's going to look a little bit charred like it did. And that's completely normal. But the thing is, you want to carve it and then serve it. On a smoked turkey like Cam made, you can really just throw that thing right on the table and carve it right there. So two different styles. Again, they were both really juicy. They were both really delicious. That overnight brine did a ton of wonders on this thing. So I think that was a consensus win to both, that they were both juicy. And again, this is mostly white meat that people were eating, and they were all saying, hey, got juicy, delicious, awesome, moist. So super similar, but again, there's some distinct differences. A lot of people are saying this one was sweet,
Yep.
and this one was smoky, which this is the fried one, this is the smoked one. So you can tell that you can get a smoky flavor on a fried turkey. It's just that skin crisping up, getting that nice char on it, and then again, that nice smokiness on the spatchcock bird. So
yeah, let us know what you guys like to brine with. Was this too simple of a brine for you guys? Are there anything else that you guys add to your brine to maybe make it a little bit different? But the one word that we didn't hear, which is a win for Chad and I, is we did not hear dry. Both these turkeys were so juicy, and they were both delicious in their own way. I think adding the butter and brown sugar on my end and also the rub on top was just kind of a little bit of a cheat code going against Chad when he's just got that simple fry and a little bit of that dirty bird. But like we said, both these were delicious. So if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. We've got plenty of more holiday videos coming your way, and I'm excited for what we got coming down the line.
yeah, and again, I think they were both really good birds. Mine took about 45 minutes. Cam's took just over 3 hours. So if you're a little late waking up Thanksgiving morning, you need to get the turkey done quicker, frying might be the way to go. And if you have a little bit of extra time, you definitely could definitely smoke it. But they're both really great, awesome ways to cook birds, and I hope you get to try both. So have a good Thanksgiving, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, and go buy your grandpa that bottle of bourbon, y'all.